and I'm so, oh my god, there's so much hair in my eyeball right now. Hey, what's up? I'm Allie, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have a little bit of a cold, so bear with me as my nasally voice is twice as nasally. Today I am going to be doing my January, nope, that's not the month. Today I am going to be doing my December book haul, and in it I am also going to have the books that I got for Christmas. I am, in the new year, going to be combining the books that I have hauled myself with my library books. So yeah, I'm unsure if I want to like separate them within the video or just have them willy-nilly here and there. Like, I don't know yet. I'm undecided. We will see. So let's go ahead and get into the haul. I do want to talk about the books that I got out of book boxes just because you guys will have already seen most of these. Now, the very first one is my YA book of the month. I am an affiliate. I know there was some things going on with that, but honestly, for the price, I don't think you can beat it. At this point, I am just buying my own subscription because you're not going to be able to get a hardcover book for like $10 anywhere else. And they always have coupons, so you can get your first month for like less than $10. You can get them for like $5. Again, you're not going to get a hardcover for $10 like anywhere, like brand new. And I love that these are all a standard size. So the book that I got in December was actually Where the World Ends, and this just has such an intriguing premise to me, and I think it's kind of based around a true story. Every summer, Quill and his friends are put ashore on a remote sea stack to hunt birds, but this summer no one arrives to take them home. Surely nothing but the end of the world can explain why they have been abandoned, cold, starving, and clinging to life in the grip of a murderous ocean. I like anything that's kind of survival. This kind of gives me a little bit of like Lord of the Flies vibes, which is one of my favorite classics. So I'm very intrigued by this. I don't know if I've really seen anyone talking about it, but I'm curious. So the next one is from my Unplugged book box, and it is Songs from the Deep. Now, this is kind of a fantasy type world where sirens exist, and one day, this girl is like obsessed with these sirens, and one day a boy's body is found by the water, and they believe that it was the sirens who have killed him. However, she doesn't think so. So she recruits the help of like an old friend of hers, and they basically are going to prove that the sirens are innocent. However, they have to do it before whoever has killed this boy comes for them next, I'm assuming. So it sounds really intriguing. Unplugged book box always has the most unique and interesting reads. Like, if this is an interesting book, you're probably going to get it. Waterness. Blue is the color of the year, guys. So next three came from my Fairy Loot box. Now, the one you guys will have seen, it was in the November box, and it is A River of Royal Blood. Now, I did read an arc of this, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm so happy to have this edition as well. It's so gorgeous. I love the black pages. Pretty excited to finally own a copy of this. This is a very interesting fantasy world where it is a queendom, and basically in order to run the country you have to kill your sibling in order to run it. Kill all your siblings. So this is between two sisters. One is born with blood magic, who we follow, and she never uses her magic because no one else has blood magic. She doesn't know how to, and she's terrified of it. The times that she has used it, she has severely hurt people. Her sister has the magic of persuasion and has distanced herself from her, so we only get to see a little bit of her. Now, we are on a hunt to find out more about this country. We're finding out more about her history because she needs to find someone who can teach her blood magic, but she also has found out some other things from her past, and therefore she has to uncover them before she can move forward and attempt to kill her sister. It's a very promising beginning to a series, so I'm interested to see more. The other two, I haven't posted my unboxing video yet. It will probably be up later this week, so spoiler of the books, because there was two books in the December Fairy Loot. The one is 8 Will Fall. It's a fantasy world where magic is illegal, and this follows a girl who has magic. She can like sense other people's emotions and stuff. I think she can like, I don't know, she can use their emotions to like hurt them severely. There's some sort of ancient evil like lurking below the city, and the queen decides that she's going to send like basically these magic nobodies down into this, and they have to go up against this beast thing in order to save themselves as well as the town. Obviously is finding out more about herself while actually getting to use her magic, and of course she is also bonding with some of these other people who are kind of in the same boat as her. So it sounds pretty intense, sounds kind of horror-y. Will is also exclusive. It has like some drawings on the back and such. Why can't I open this? So it's also an exclusive, but this is an exclusive arc. Now this comes out in March. I actually already have an arc of this. The difference is that this one is purple. I really enjoyed the things that I have read by her, so I'm interested in this. Interesting story because it's magical, but it sends people into our world. It's about like this magical realm, like an evil snow queen makes their whole like country into ice and snow, and so the people are sent away and get stuck in Arizona. So this deals with the prince, who is the last like survivor of the royal family, and his identity is not known. It is secret, but his best friend Talia knows about it, but she has secrets of her own, mostly that she is like a curse breaker, spell breaker type thing. Now, they end up coming together and going into cahoots and going back to their country when the legendary Firebird reappears after not being seen for like decades. So I'm assuming that they have to go back and break the spell that is on their country in order to bring their people back. So we will see. It sounds kind of interesting, getting a little bit of Rick Riordan vibes. So I'm intrigued. I will probably be reading that next month. So I did end up buying myself one book in December. I didn't want to buy too many things just because I knew Christmas was coming. I didn't know what I was getting, but I had read The Wicked King, and I really needed to get The Queen of Nothing. Originally, I was not going to get the Barnes & Noble edition, but it has the letters from Carden in it, and I love these. I feel like they gave us such an insight into Carden that we never really get. Like, there's been so many times where Jude has been in an interaction with Carden, and I just am not sure if it's been, I don't know, like it doesn't come across whether or not like his intentions are sincere, and I feel like this really gave us a glimpse into him, even though they're like such short letters. I love them. I feel like they gave us a glimpse that Holly Black never delves into, so I really like that. But and I also, the main reason I got these is because they have the white hardback underneath, which I love, but man, do I hate these covers. Girl Prince series, if you did not know, is about a girl who has grown up in Fae, and basically she wants to be a part of Fae, so she becomes ruthless. On the way, she ends up kind of coming into a really strange, hateful alliance with one of the princes in order to kind of dethrone the current king. So it is very interesting and political. I didn't know that I was into like Fae politics, but apparently I am. So I would love to read more like this. I love this like angsty, little hateful relationship that's going on, so I need more of it. I did not know this was my thing, but it is my thing. Okay, and then the rest I believe that I got are Christmas gifts. So actually I'm missing one. Hang on. One of the first things that I unopened up for Christmas was actually the Throne of Glass, and this is the exclusive edition. So it has this beautiful encasing. I love this design, and then you pull it out. There is like a ribbon so you can pull the book out, and then it has this beautiful hardback inside. Again, just beautiful depictions on it. So this was really high on my wish list. Throne of Glass is one of my top favorite series of all time. It's got like different drawings and depictions and stuff in it on the chapters, and I just was so excited to see this. Brian's mom actually got this for me, and it is just absolutely stunning. Now I just need the Court of Thorns and Roses one too. So I love this encasing. Oh, it's so satisfying. Then my mom got me some books for Christmas. I already talked about this one in the things that I got for Christmas just because it is mostly Harry Potter related, but that is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which is my favorite, and this is the illustrated edition. Oh, I love this burnt orange. I love this picture on here. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And look, guys, look what it is. It's the color of the year. Why is this occurring everywhere now? Oh my god, these are just so stunning. I am so happy to have this. It is going to go right on display, but it is just absolutely gorgeous. I've been seeing this talked about a lot of places recently, but I don't know much about it, and it's Fireborne. I've not seen really any bad things said about this, and I think it has like a hate to love or something. I don't know what my general interest, just that everyone was saying really, really good things about it. Annie and Lee were just children when a brutal revolution changed their world, giving them a chance to test in the governing class of dragon riders. So this is a fantasy world, and I'm assuming dragon riders are like the highest tier. Now they're both rising stars, despite that their backgrounds couldn't be any more different. She's from a low-born family, who was executed by Dragonfire, while his is an aristocratic family that was murdered by the revolutionaries. Growing up in the same orphanage forced their friendship, and 7 years of training have made them rivals for the top position. Ooh. Everything changes when survivors from the old regime surface, bent on reclaiming the city. I'm assuming it's kind of a hate to love. It's probably more of a dislike to love kind of situation, but we do have that like reclaiming the city, a band of like misfits comes together to save the town, like things like that. So I think this has a lot of things that I enjoy, so I will probably like it, and I've seen nothing but like 5-star ratings. And the next thing, and actually this was on sale, and I was like, okay, well this is really intriguing and it's not that much, so I need. Okay, so this one is Courting Darkness. Now I know that this is set in a world, it's set in the world of His Fair Assassin series. I am kind of intrigued by reading those, possibly before I read these, but I don't know if anyone has read this and knows whether or not you can read it on your own. Let me know, but I was really intrigued by it, basically. So, Sabella has been raised in a convent, and she is the darkest of Death's daughters. I think that's what it says, yes. Basically, she has been served to put out justice, and I'm assuming that means that she's a fancy assassin, which is always my favorite. So she is given a new assignment in that in order to save her sister, she has to escort the Duchess to France, where they are quickly surrounded by enemies. Now, the Coven has actually placed spies centuries ago, like they have placed years and years and years of spies in the palace. However, Sabella doesn't know who they are, and she has to find them in order to help save herself and, I'm assuming, the Duchess. Genevieve has been undercover for so long that she's honestly not too sure what her mission is at this point. Tragedy that strikes, and she has to take things into her own hands despite what the Coven would want her to do. So as their paths become closer, I'm sure things become more tangled and more crazy, but it sounds really good. I'm really intrigued. So again, let me know if I need to read like the Fair Assassin series before this. It sounds like I could probably read this on my own, but if anyone is familiar, please let me know. And then the last thing that my mom got me is actually the Toll. So Scythe is one of my favorite series, the Arc of Scythe, and Scythe. Someone said it rhymes with wife. Scythe. Oh my god, why do I go through this every single time? It's one of my favorite series. This is the conclusion. I'm not ready for this to be over, but I just ate up the last two. So this is a utopian world where you can't die, like nothing bad can really happen to you. There is the Thunderhead, which is all-knowing and makes sure everything goes perfectly in life. And basically the only way you can die is if there is a Scythe. These are appointed people who can go around and kill you. Now, this delves into two characters who have been chosen to be trained as Scythes, but basically they are told that at the end of the trial, only one of them will become a Scythe, and in order to do that, they have to kill each other. This kind of delves into the Scythe-dom and their different rules and regulations, and whether or not it's okay to kill people in like mass killings, whether it should be random. Like, it goes into things like that, and it also talks about like whether or not, like, what the percentage of like illnesses would have been at the time, like do they take people out in that way. Like, it's just very interesting to see this. Now, there are two different types of Scythes happening. There are the old time people who truly believe in basically random, and then there are the new ones who think that you should be able to kill no matter what. Like, you can kill whoever, whenever, how many, it doesn't matter. So this is kind of the Fiefdom coming to a head and coming to war, and this is the conclusion. Oh, I'm nervous. Neil Shusterman just is so good at building these worlds too, and like they're so intricate, and like the Thunderhead, you get points of view from the Thunderhead, and the Thunderhead like knows all these things and explains it to you, and it's just like, Neil, how do these things come into your brain? Like, I need a peek into that brain. Now, the rest are gifts that people had sent to me from my Amazon wish list, so let's get into that. This is from Chris, who sent me so many things off my wish list. Thank you so much, Chris. Like, always such a wonderful subscriber and viewer, and leaves the best things, and is always sending me the nicest things, and like, I can't thank you enough. I was so excited to see this. This is the 10,000 Doors of January. I love this cover. This cover is stunning. I want wallpaper like this, like on some sort of accent wall, but I absolutely love this cover. Now, apparently this is a story about like a book inside of a book type of thing, which apparently is coming back. It's becoming real popular. So this is about a girl who has grown up in this mansion where pretty much everything is carefully maintained, largely ignored, and utterly out of place. So she feels like she is another artifact in this house, but she comes across this book, which basically she turns the page and she finds this like exotic and dangerous and just suspenseful world, and I'm assuming she gets like sucked into it. Apparently this book also has some sort of like the story intertwines with her own, so I'm interested to see how this works out. It sounds intriguing. It just seems really beautiful. It seems like a lovely story. It seems poetic, and I feel like I'm going to love this. So thank you so much again, Chris. I am so excited to get to this. I say that with everything, but I really mean it. Next one comes from Madison from Princess of Paperback, and I absolutely love her. I met her last year at BookCon, and she is so delightful. She is so funny. She is beautiful and crazy and fun, and I just really had a great time hanging out with her, and she just is so lively. Like, you're around her and like your energy is just all up because she's all energetic, and she's just such a positive person. So thank you so much, Madison. She actually sent Eliza Her Monsters. Oh my goodness. This is one of my all-time favorite books, like a top 5 favorite books. This book means so much to me, and I am just so glad that she got this for me. This book is just like, it is my everything. It has touched me in so many ways. When I read it, it was just like, this is my soul in a book. It was just so good. It is about a girl who writes an online comic series, but she does it anonymously, and she becomes very famous. In her day-to-day life, she's basically a nobody, and she goes to school, and there's this new kid that starts out at school, and she accidentally finds out that he actually is a big fan of her web series. So she befriends him and finds out that not only that, but he is like the #1 writer of like fan fiction for her web series, and it's her befriending him and kind of falling for him, but without revealing who she is. And of course that has to come to a head. It's not going to work out, and things just are so well done. It talks about like anxiety, social anxiety, and panic attacks, and I just was reading this and I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Like, this is so good. It touched me in ways that I would have never expected. I started reading this just on like a whim one day, and I stayed up all night to finish reading it because it was so good. So thank you so much, Madison, for sending this to me. The last 2 things are actually from my fave, Melissa the Bookish Babbler, and she sent me Vengeful. Now, I have read Vengeful, but I needed it to complete my collection. I can definitely see myself rereading this in the future. It is such an interesting and unique type of storyline. It is 2 boys that go to university, and they come up with this idea that they can give themselves superpowers, so they're testing out these theories, and the next thing you know, it happens. But it happens in ways that they are not expecting at all. Both of them are doing things, they're doing pretty bad things that they are justifying as good. And it is just kind of a story about like, is anything really right or wrong? All the morally grays that go with it. Like, they are they were friends and now they're like hunting each other, and it's just like all the complexities in between, and it's like a jumbled up timeline, and it's all about all the other super powerful people in the world and like what that means. And this has such unique powers in it and such a unique storyline, because like honestly, super people existed. This is probably more so what it would be like. It wouldn't be like Justice Leagues happening. It would just be people going after each other because of their powers, because they think they're doing what's right. So I'm very excited to have that and to add that into my collection. It is like the only V.E. Schwab adult series book that I'm missing. So, and then the other one that she got me, and I'm so excited about this, is Bright We Burn, and this is the conclusion to the And I Darken series. This is a gender flip Vlad the Impaler story, and it was so good. So one of my things in 2020 is that I'm going to complete the series that I've started, so this is a great start. So I'm so excited. I absolutely loved And I Darken. I've been nervous about continuing. I don't know why. It's just so good. I love this cover. I loved all these covers. These covers were fantastic. So I'm very excited about this, and I know that Melissa has loved it, and we tend to have similar taste. So thank you so much, Melissa. I will leave them linked down below so you guys can check out their channels, because they truly are gems here on BookTube, and you need to check them out. They are just like rays of sunshine in my dark and twisted life. Now let's get on to the library books. I'm probably not going to go too much into these because you guys have probably already seen me talk a lot about these. They are mostly just the graphic novels that I read for the graphic novel nominees on Goodreads video. Umbrella Academy Volume 3, which is basically about 7 misfit type superheroes that are thrown together, and they have grown up together, and now they have to save the world from the apocalypse. There was Book Love, which is just little comic strips about being a book nerd and the things that come along with that. It was quite cute. They Call Us Enemy, which is George Taki's autobiography of growing up in a Japanese camp in the US during World War II. Then there was Paper Girls Volume 3, 4, and 5. I really enjoyed. I honestly don't even know where to begin with this. Like, it is a hot mess. There's time travel, and there's dinosaurs, and there's a lot happening. And there was also Teen Titans Raven. This is about how like Raven loses her adoptive mom, and she loses her memory, and basically her powers are trying to surface, but she doesn't really understand what's happening, and it's her kind of figuring out what's going on. Then another graphic novel that I didn't get to talk to you guys about is actually The Wise Beasts of the Wizarding Wisdoms. Now this is from the same creator of The Girl from the Other Side, which is a manga that I really enjoy. So this is about the Wizdom School of Wizarding. There, beasts of all kinds gather to live, to learn, and to love. From everyday animals to fantastic creatures, these stories are told with a realistic and lighthearted touch. So I'm thinking this is maybe a story collection about the animals that go to this wizarding school. I also had checked out A Wedding in December. If you guys didn't see, I actually ended up DNFing that. It follows 3 women, the mom, and then the 2 daughters, and it's basically them all doing different things around love. Around Christmas time, basically the mom and the dad are getting a divorce, but their daughter's wedding is happening, and therefore they don't want to ruin their daughter's wedding, so they pretend that they are still married for the wedding. And then the daughter is marrying this man who she's known for like 2 months, and they've just decided that they're just going to get married. So it's about them kind of rushing into that and how she's kind of doubting that. And then the sister has decided that her sister cannot get married after only knowing this man for that long. So she comes in order to try to break it up, but some man keeps swatting her plans away. So follow 3 different types of love stories there. But I DNF'd it. It wasn't interesting. I also checked out Royal Holiday, which I ended up not reading, about this older woman who accompanies her daughter to England in order to spend the holidays there, and she ends up kind of running into the Queen's secretary or something like that. Keeps running into like the Queen's secretary, and therefore starting up some sort of romance there. And then the other one that I checked out was actually Xmas, and this is about a girl who has to, her little brother runs away, and in order to find him, she has to team up with her ex-boyfriend in order to find him, and there's a road trip. I hate road trip books, so why I thought I would want to read this, I don't know. It's also like an early 2000s written book, and you could tell. So I read a few pages and I was like, that's enough for me. So if you're interested in that, there you go. But it wasn't for me. Thank you to everyone who sent me something. I hope you guys had the best holiday and the happiest new year. I hope you guys have liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to see future videos from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.